Thanks everyone for coming. This is amazing. I had no idea there were this many people that would come to our first presentation. So we want to start by acknowledging that this program is taking place in the unceded territory of Lillooet Nation. My name is Niki Madigan and I'm the curator of the Pemberton Museum. Thank you so much for coming and supporting this program. This is the first in a series of 7 presentations that will feature speakers from Lillooet, Mount Currie, Pemberton, Squamish, and beyond. Our theme this year is myths and legends. Pemberton's been a place name on European maps for 160 years this summer. Prior to this, it was and remains the traditional territory of the Lillooet peoples. To celebrate the depth of history in this place, we picked the theme of myths and legends, as these tend to be the oldest and the most informative stories we have of the past. We also wanted to include stories from the whole region as we reflect on 160 years of shared history, as Pemberton didn't develop in isolation. In fact, in 1958, Port Douglas was the center of government, with a courthouse and jail. From 1860 to the 1940s, Lillooet was the center of government, news, and services for Pemberton and District. With the coming of the railway in 1914, the communities of Britannia, Squamish, Alta Lake, which is now Whistler, and Pemberton, Birken, and Darcy were connected like never before. The development of the highway since late 1958 and the recent improvements to the highway permanently forge our shared history in the Sea to Sky region. So why myths and legends? So a myth, if you look up the definition in the dictionary, it's defined as an ancient story or a set of stories, especially explaining the early history of a group of people or about natural events and facts. Myths serve to unfold part of the worldview of a people or explain a practice, a belief, or a natural phenomena. A myth is a story that's told again and again and serves to explain why something is the way that it is. A legend is a collection of stories about an admirable person or a significant event, non-historical and unverifiable, yet handed down from tradition and accepted as historical. A legend's presumed to have some basis in historical fact, and it tends to mention real people or events. Historical fact morphs into a legend when the truth has been exaggerated to the point that real people or events have taken on a romanticized, larger-than-life quality. So basically, a myth tells us how to be, and a legend tells us how we were. So this season we have stories that fit into both of these categories, and perhaps some that even fit in between. Next week we have Elder and Cultural Resource Technician with the Lillooet Nation, Lex Joseph, coming to tell us some creation stories. Then we have Eric Anderson from Squamish, who's going to explore the idea of maritime history in Pemberton. The museum staff will present some tall tales from the Pemberton Trail and highlight some of the legendary packers who worked the trails in and out of Pemberton. In August, Johnny Jones, a cultural resource technician with Lillooet Nation, is coming to tell us about old maps and his grandfather Koopman, the medicine man. Diane Mitchell, the curator of education and collections, will tell us the story of the legendary copper mine of Britannia. Our last presentation on August 21st will feature Professor Matthew Unger from Concordia University, who will be presenting some highlights from his research into the local legend of the Tom Poole murder of 1879. You can find the lineup on our website or watch for our promotions on Facebook.